Freedom didn't arrive all at once, it had to be announced. On June 19th, 1865, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, word finally reached the enslaved people of Galveston, Texas, and they heard, "You are free." Juneteenth is a celebration of delayed justice and enduring hope. It's a reminder that systems may stall, but truth moves forward. And it's proof that even when the world tries to forget, we rise, remember, and rebuild. To my fellow leaders, let's honor Juneteenth, not just with hashtags, but with healing and courage in action. Because leadership means showing up, especially where freedom was once denied. Let freedom ring, let justice roll, and let's lead like it matters, because it does. Welcome to episode 8, Thinking Thursday, topic personal growth, with your host, Chris Sauls. Wow, what a subject! What a subject to come up with Thursday, a place that I have a lot of thoughts as well as a lot of stories around personal growth. I would say to each of you out there, you need a personal growth plan. Uh, this is an area where, I talk about this podcast is really based on I talk to think. So it's really an outlet in one way for me, but it's another is I want people to think more. And personal growth is an area I believe that we forget about when we're doing our professional development. And really, the personal growth affects your professional development about as much as any. And I can say that if you prioritize professional development only above your personal growth and they're not balanced, your personal relationships will suffer for it. And it's evident. We see it all the time. We see people that work together for many years. We see them grow. They go through, and uh, they tend to grow apart. And when that happens, a lot of times is they've prioritized professional growth, and they're able to keep the personal relationship going, but it's not really on target. Getting really into the personal growth, everybody needs a personal growth plan. And this needs to address a couple of areas in your life. Awareness. How aware are you of how what are your defaults? What's the mask you wear in public? What's your core? What is it that you're really about? And then truly, what's your perception of yourself? How do you communicate with yourself? I know the past couple of weeks I've jumped in and talked about self-talk. I've talked about self-leadership, self awareness. It's not just about self, guys. I want to make sure that I'm very clear on this. When we're not the best version of ourselves, we are not serving others at our highest level. We can't serve at our highest level without knowing who we really are and who we want to serve. That is something we have to discover along the way, but generally there is a inkling or there is a feeling, there is a gut instinct, like I know this is what I need to be working on, I know this is what I'm led to do. uh, and knowing that, and that's where self-awareness and working on personal growth will help identify that, because when you're not working in your strengths, it will show up pretty quickly because people around you will let you know. But the other thing is you'll start to feel uncomfortable, and I don't mean the uncomfortable like being in the uncomfortable while you learn it. You'll feel uncomfortable because you're not working in your strengths, and you realize that the progress that needs to be made is not being made. So, for my technologists out there, your personal relationships, your self leadership, your personal growth is, what am I reading? What am I studying? What am I doing to upgrade or upskill my people skills? Uh, what do I know about my personality? What do I know about my teammates' personality? What do I know about my personal relationships, my significant other's personality? What do I know in these areas? And how can I be better at it? How can I be better in these areas? How can I show up in meetings and be more empathetic, but also have greater input? and greater impact. Uh, I think about this personal growth piece. Obviously, I'm a Maxwell certified coach, and I think about the parts that John Maxwell has taught over the years. That like that was one of his big lessons that he learned about having a personal growth plan, because it's not just actions that you're taking; it's literally something that's written down that says, "Hey, I am going to work on these things." Now, I know each and every one of us thinks that we can do a lot more in a single year than we can do in 5 years. And we always get caught up in this. You need to have like a big three for the year. Like, what are the big three things I'm going to work on this year? They could be three things in your personal, you could have three things in your professional, you could have three things in, there's health, wealth, and relationships are the areas in the world. And if you think about it, you could have one in each area, and that's what you could focus on. One in each of those areas. I'll give you mine. Like this year, I was recovering from a spinal surgery. So I wanted to get back to the gym. I wanted to lower my body fat percentage. I wanted to add muscle on, and I wanted to strengthen my back. I wanted to make sure that I don't have any additional issues with my spine in the future because of things that I haven't done. And that was one for my health. The second was opening my coaching company. That's what I wanted to do. It wasn't just a want, it was something that I had been working on for years now. And I stepped into that May 1st. It's a big thing. It was a big step. It's the first time I've been out of the corporate arena and been what people would label me as an entrepreneur, where now I am responsible for myself. I don't have anyone to look to and go, oh, well, they made a decision to lay me off, or they made a decision to change something about how this works. Now that's upon me. Now that's two. And my third one is in my spiritual life, to become more committed, more focused on things that I have been directed to do. And that is in another podcast. I will talk about that for a split second here. I am doing a more personal, more spiritual podcast. It's called From the Basket to the Throne, A Journey to Freedom. That will be released in a few weeks. You will see me twice a week going forward. This one is for my technologists and for my business world, and the other one is something a little different. Just putting that out there for you. Again, back to personal growth. Things I want you to take away today, and I hope that these will help you. I believe that these will help you. Working on your self awareness, being a lifelong learner. Now, how do you work on self awareness? Assessments. There are tons of them out there. I can recommend DISC because I'm a DISC consultant. There is Myers Briggs. There are StrengthsFinders. There's Enneagram. There are a ton of assessments out there. Take one, but apply it. Don't just take the assessment to know, oh, I'm this, that, and the other. Take it, look at the information that's on it, and how can you use that to build out a growth plan? That is one way for self awareness. Lifelong learner. What are you learning and why are you learning it? What are you planning to apply it to? Are you learning it because you need better relationships? Are you learning it because you need to, in the workplace, you need to know a new language or you need to know a new process? Great. Put that down, put a strategy behind it, write it down. Third, communications. We often think we're communicating and we're not. Um, it's the fact that there's this part of us that we tend to lean away from learning how to be better communicators. And as technologists, it is important that we can take our technical language and convert that over and explain something to someone in non-technical terms that would bring what is the outcome that you're trying to get with that. And I think about software products. So those are the three areas that I believe you can work on in the personal growth space that will help you today. I'm going to wrap this up today and I'm going to say to you, happy Juneteenth. Uh, I hope, pray, and believe we can be better in our lives with people in general. And I believe if we focus on who we serve and how we serve them, we can make the world a better place. Talk to you guys next week.